Let's take shelter for the time being. Don't worry, one of my people will be here with umbrellas momentarily.
Let's light it up!
Let's finish this, swift.
No, my sword! Illusion shattered! end. Inazuma shines eternal. Rain cutter. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Alô, alô, alô.
You should really bring the Knights of Favonius with you next.
What's that? Join you for a walk? Why not?
Vamos agora entregar o item pra ela. Ah, pera. Eu tenho que me lembrar. Eu me lembrei que o áudio pode estar com eco. Não posso me esquecer disso. Pronto. Ó. Vídeos, gente. Ah, agora eu tô fazendo a missão 5 estrelas. É, a missão do arcade. Entendo.
Well, here we are. But what are we looking for? Something or someone?
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
Mano, uma pergunta, o caso aumenta a porcentagem de bônus de dano do personagem, por exemplo, bônus de dano raid. Se o caso não faz isso. Cara, me parece que ele multiplica o dano. Tipo assim, colocar a habilidade de alimentar de outro personagem antes dele, tipo, botar um Bennett. E daí o inimigo vai estar afetado por Pyro. E daí ele vai usar o especial dele lá. Eu acho que vai dar um baita de um estrago. Eu não sei, mas eu acho que sim. É meio estranho saber como é que funciona o caso. Como saber os personagens de vento em si.
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area. There, that's me. So what about you two?
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here in some depth. If there's anything you want to know, just ask away.
Verdade.
Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all true, the history here. Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? The tale of Tatarasuna starts a long time ago. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years. Still, the furnace has had a couple of serious maintenance issues along the way.
Ah, mas não tem problema. As comidinhas que faz sempre eu gosto. Tu sabe disso, né? E hoje tu não vai querer descansar, não? E hoje tu ainda vai ter muita coisa pra fazer? Ah tá, depois descansa aí com a mana.
A couple? When exactly?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. There was a guy back then too. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here for a history lesson.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one today. Feels like we've been preparing for a history exam or something.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden burning desire for historical knowledge? Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort of person that I'd like to meet, actually. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything to do with a kabuki mono where Tataris... Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving? Okay, bye, Xavier.
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you today? Whatever it is, it seems like it's really troubling you. Keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. No matter what happens, Paimon will always be there for you. Hey, don't mention it. Alright, let's head off and go meet Nahida.
Os bichos brotou ali, eu vou lá matar. Eles estão dando baú.
Shine down. Let's light it up.
Cascade.
There is no escape. Now that's what I call treasure.
Isso é tipo...
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time. What do you want to talk to us about?
It's the same topic we discussed last time. Obvious.
Still looking for more info about Tatara Suna, huh? Should we join them?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh, of course.
Aviso, se artigo uma pesquisa auxiliar para o projeto abrindo VI. Farro. Ainda não possui número de edição. Autor. Acaba! Resumo. A região de Tatarasuna sempre foi considerada um dos locais mais importantes da indústria de forjas de transformação. 2 incidentes aconteceram no local e os registros a respeito no primeiro são confusos. O autor acredita que o primeiro incidente não pode. Palavra-chave. Tatarasuna, Freuden, Kukade, Koshinagamaya. Olha, eu não tô nem um pouco afim de ler.
I presume you'll want to read mine as well. Here.
Mano, uma pergunta. Os melhores suportes são o caso Raifurina, né? Os dois mais versáteis. Cara... O caso é um dos melhores 5 estrelas. Tudo bem, né? Agora a Furina eu não sei. É que os que estavam listados como os melhores 5 estrelas, né? O que podia mudar a conta de uma pessoa é a Shogun Raiden, Zogli, Kazuha e Nahida. Provavelmente deve ter tido mais algum aí. Porque isso foi antes da atualização de Fontaine. Provavelmente o Novilete também ficou listado por dar bastante dano e por o foco do dano dele ser a habilidade carregada. Eu acredito, né? Que ele solta aquele Kamehameha. Muito legal, muito bacana.
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this? Well, we just got back from Inazuma. So how...
What did you find out? Something big?
It's a long story. Basically, we have some friends in Inazuma, and...
Wow, so many new details. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Armanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much for the information.
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do.
Nahida.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you been? Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma. The Balladeer? It sounds like some kind of code name.
Ah, até ela.
You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell? Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset. That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the Balladeer erased himself from Irminsul, hoping that... But how was he even able to do that? As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated it. Nevertheless, it does make sense.
If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality.
Pelo de cabelo? Mas ontem, tu assim, pisando ali no teu quarto, tu viu que tava limpinho, né? Às vezes o que eu mais tiro de lá é pelo de cabelo. Acho que sai do Miguel porque ele fica debaixo da cama, sabe? A Helena? Mano, tô indeciso entre Kazuha e Neovilete. Os dois vão vir juntos. Já que um amigo meu me deu uma conta dele que ele não usa há muito tempo. Cara, tu não quer me passar teu ID pra eu poder te ajudar em alguma coisa no teu mundo? Ou provavelmente tu é mais evoluído do que eu? Por jogar mais tempo ou talvez por estar na conta do amigo? Beleza. Mas manda e já apaga. Assim, quando eu terminar de... Ah... Não esquece. ID 65. Tá bom. Vou te adicionar. Só eu tenho que pular esse diálogo.
So, you believe this person really existed? And we just don't remember him because... Well, because he literally changed the world?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. But I'm struggling to imagine the kind of person who would dare go through with it. The traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul, and it also explains why any changes to Irminsul wouldn't affect. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it.
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. Why did he do it?
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was...
Claro. Eu voltei. E tem um amiguinho meu que tá me spamando em pare. Ele é irmão do meu amigo. E eu tô esperando esse meu amigo ficar online.
something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again.
Tipo, ele me deu porque eu já tinha uma conta, mas o padre tava meio sem tempo pra jogar. Aí os personagens então levam meio baixo porque ele não usava mais a conta e ele tava sem tempo. Qual que é o nível deles? O nível dos personagens?
He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friend, the story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained the power to... That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase himself.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Please wait a moment. I want to check something. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale? Who wrote it?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale that somehow has something...
When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on.
Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki mono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was
Não,
left
tá no meu
intact.
bolso. Estamos de volta.
Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that. But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the balladeer entered Irminsul.
That's incredible! What a great idea!
And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told us. The now erased life of the balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night, and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monsters soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us." Shh. The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. After burying the bird, the kitten left the mountain for good.
tá frio, não tá que a cadela não cala a boca.
Acredito que meu amiguinho saiu. É, ele saiu. O Tartago era o favorito dele. Os talentos estão 9, 10, 10. Ah, amigo. Vou ver se meu amiguinho não tá online. Até agora esse Oliver tá jogando, cara.
Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, gnashing its teeth at the moon. How it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, then it would finally be peaceful and content. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
We solved it!
Ah, sim. Mas daí ia ficar muito doce, né? Claro. Eu pensei que tu tinha saído da live, cara. O caso funciona bem como tartaga, né? Como o tartaga ou com o tartaga?
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to have something to defend themselves with. Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us on more than one occasion. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of smoke.
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful, he still helped you. Before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the way it all ended that much better.
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth and then conquer the troubles they face. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act on his desire to disappear must have meant a lot. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us toward a better destination. And that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Mihiru's right. Cheer up. How about we go get something to eat? We can pick up this heavy conversation again later.
Olá, isso daí vai ser o café, a sobremesa.
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it. Come on, traveler. You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar. That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that.
Vamos pesquisar o seu ID. Oh my God. Nossa. Tá, deixa eu ver. 650436 650436 650436 993. Gabriel. Experimentar. É que nem vinho. Meu Deus. O cara tem um personagem que eu mais quero nesse jogo. E ele ainda tem o nível de amizade nível 10. Bah! Como ser humilhado em poucos segundos. O cara tem um personagem que eu quero e tá com o nível de amizade dele no nível 10, cara. Que porcaria. Quando eu tive a chance de conseguir o Tartaga, eu consegui foi o de luz. O dia que eu consegui juntar gema o suficiente pra tentar rezar no banner dele foi no dia 9, não, 7 do 9. Eu acho que isso foi agosto. Setembro. É. 7 de setembro. E daí eu consegui esse cara aqui, vindo diretamente do banner do mochileiro. Se eu não, pelo menos tivesse a consciência e não tivesse rezado na Yaemiko, eu não teria o Diluc sim, o Tartaga hoje. O Tartaga e talvez outro personagem 5 estrelas aleatório. Não seria o Kamisato. Que droga, cara. Se tu puder dar uma olhada nos personagens que estão no perfil, eu agradeço. Vários que tu tem aí eu queria ter. Um deles é a Shenhan. Mas ele é bom combinando com o caso, mano. Cara, eu acho que dá uma boa combinação, tipo assim, o super do Tartaga junto com o super do caso, sabe? Daí, tipo assim, ia dar um redemoinho de água nos inimigos, tudo. Eu não sei se vento com água não vai dar congelamento. E sim, redemoinho.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Vamos dar mais uma olhadinha aqui no perfil. Ainda não consigo acreditar que o amigo aqui tá com Child nível 10. Fuxi novo. Boa. Shingekyo. Evolui mais que Shingekyo. É bom. Ah, eu consigo ver. Tá. A arma que ele tá usando. Essa é a melhor arma pra ele. Exatamente. A 4 estrelas. Nossa. Uhum. Oxi. Por que colocaram Memórias da Floresta numa personagem de choque? Bônus de dano dendro. Ela é de choque? Ela é de choque, ela não é de planta? Bônus de dano pyro, raido. Dendro, 15%. Bônus de dano dendro. Ela não é de dendro. Evoluir os talentos aqui dela também é bom. Ele já tá com esse talento evoluído, boa. Narida merece ser mais evoluída. Ela é uma das personagens que consegue mudar a conta de alguém. Eu só não sei a mecânica dela. O super dela é meio confuso de entender. Ali o coração ilusório. O Saino dizia ser o pior 5 estrelas por ter um dano muito limitado e não ser muito versátil, porque o especial dele, acho que o especial dele só pode ser melhorado se tiver um Shingekyo junto. Tipo assim, o super do Shingekyo primeiro e depois do Saino, ele fica com aquela transformação dele enquanto vai uns raios de água junto, é tipo o Shingekyo Shango Raiden. Dá bom. Artefatos, não sei quais são. Ah, melhor artefato pra ele é Sonhos Dourados, né? E eu não consigo entrar no teu mundo. O nível de mundo é 8. O chat. É porque tô usando com sonho. Ah. Tô usando ele Hyperblue. O que é Hyperblue? Ele pegou há pouco tempo. Eu disse ele não tem mais tempo pra jogar. Ah, sim. Poxa, mas o tempo restante que ele tinha pra jogar, ele conseguiu evoluir bastante. Ele conseguiu fazer muita coisa. Só uma coisa que eu esperava que ele fosse conseguir e não conseguiu foi terminar o abismo do espiral. Isso é uma coisa que ele não fez. Pelo que aparecia ele, né? Ali parecia que ele tinha parado no piso 8, câmera 3.
What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get something to eat. Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Ah! É ele!
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid. Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? The work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Ele tá agindo diferente, cara.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, you keep letting yourself get distracted. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on an outsider like me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsettias, and I promised the lady down the street I'd deliver a fruit bowl this evening.
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. You don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights. Are you a drifter or something?
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed. Sunsettias, was it? I'll be right back.
Ah, entendi. Cara, faz sentido. Escaramote não é andarilho em inglês. Escaramote era o nome real dele, só que agora ele tem uma nova identidade. É assim que ele deve ser conhecido agora, já que ele foi esquecido em toda a Emisu. Ele criou uma identidade nova, por isso o nome é andarilho. Nossa, que legal. Eu até achava estranho que o personagem dele jogável e na história ele se chamava outro nome. Mas agora tudo faz sentido.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Siga a pessoa que você viu antes. A pessoa, os caras mostram, né? Ele tá agindo tão normal. Provavelmente ele notou que a gente viu ele. Ele é espertão, pô. De sopa?
Yeah. This'll do.
Ah, sim, sim. Ah, obrigado, mãe. É colher de... Tem colher de sopa e colher de chá, ainda não esqueci. Sim.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsettias? Isn't that a bit too cruel?
Tá bom, mãe. Vai ser necessário botar a tampa? Ah, tá.
Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
Ele provavelmente tá atuando.
He spotted us!
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever it is... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it. Is that true?
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return, I said I'd be his helper for a while.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
O que, mami? Oh, será que vai superando nesse café? Hã? Ah, sim. A cara não é o suficiente. Tem que ter o cheirinho e o gosto. Cheirinho na mágoa.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Ah, sim, tu disse isso.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss. I'm afraid I'll be away from the stall for a while.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. Sauntering along without a care in the world, like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open country if he's not even in a hurry? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable. You know, you should go live your life.
But I don't... No, you're right. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye. Thank you again for taking me into the city.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me. We can go now.
Que estranho. Ele se esqueceu até de si mesmo.
Every item I sell here comes with its own. What's so great about spices?
Welcome! Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Get your spices here. We've got all kinds. Welcome. Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
I have to stifle a smile every time I remember the look on my retainers' faces when I inform them of my plans today. Panic-stricken, but unable to muster the courage to say anything in opposition. Yes, this was a fine idea.
Welcome. Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
It's so great about fascination toys anyway.
Welcome. Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
Every item I sell.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.
Dad, let me learn to dance.
Só água que precisa esquentar, né? Só água que precisa esquentar.
Vihira! Vihira! What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Aí? Só não tô com calor porque aqui tá dando um ventinho bom.
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah, quite an eventful walk.
You say that you're trekking across Tevat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case, it seems that It ought to be called, previous incarnation.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the past. So far away that you cannot perceive it.
E agora que já parou, tá todo mundo sorrindo. O bolo e a pizza estão na mesma forma?
Okay, I have to ask. What was I like in my previous incarnation? Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear. But I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike.
Ah, tudo bem. Mano, mas o andarilho não é a reencarnação dos Caramute. Agora tá bem claro que é. Palavras da Ana Rida. A única coisa ruim que eu achei ruim é porque eu não tenho como mudar o server no PS. Ele me disse que pegou o Neofilete no server da Ásia. O quê? Ah, então deve ser por isso. Ele necessita de personagens difíceis de pegar pro time ficar bom. Bem ferrado, ele fez muito erros no início de dizer. Bah, eu também. Eu fiz ascensão no meu mundo, tipo assim, os personagens estavam nível 60 e eu tava recém com todos os meus personagens nível 50. Eu passei por uns perrengues. Eu queria fazer missão da Arconte, mas daí os bichos eram tudo forte. Dender, Hydro, Electro, conta dele. O cara falou, descreveu a combinação de elementos que faz o super florescimento.
You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a... Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
Opa, he's coming.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
And terms of the outcome alone. That's...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect. A cycle of karma and consequence.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not enough to explain the world in all of its complexity.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your biggest fans.
Mas pera, se ele é uma encarnação bonzinha, por que que até quando a gente tá jogando com os com o andarilho, no caso, né? Ele jogável, ele quando a gente fica ausente com ele, né? Ele faz alguns gestos nem um pouco amigáveis, em si aqueles gestos bem grosseiros do nível de escaramujo. Eu acho que ele vai conseguir, de alguma forma nessa missão, ter a forma de ele conseguir recuperar as memórias da sua encarnação anterior, fazendo com que o andarilho seja metade andarilho e metade escaramujo. Metade querido e metade filho da... Pupo.
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger he's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me must be true.
Me pergunto, será que o andarilho aí não é o escaramujo, só que ele tá fazendo uma baita de uma atuação muito boa, tá? Eu acho que ele atua muito bem, cara. É o escaramujo ainda.
I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgression.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet. With no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to. To feel the...
Very well. As you wish.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face, it's my burden to bear.
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we'd better keep an eye on you.
Understood.
Thank you. Now, prepare yourselves, everyone.
Entra na memória. Eu sou mais alto. Caraca, o Bennett tem o tamanho dos escaramujos. Me obedeça, moleque. Tá, deixa eu ver o que ele fala aqui.
No matter what lies ahead, I'll face it. Whatever it takes. I'm just sorry that you have to join me for the whole thing.
É brabo que meu personagem é muito quietinho. Eu queria que ele respondesse alguma coisa com as palavras dele. Opa, é domínio! Que delícia! As memórias de uma certa marionete. Ele pode ter sido escaramujo, mensageiro de Sfatui, mas talvez ele também foi meramente o Kabukimono visto em Tatarasuna uma vez. A gente pode fazer ele continuar tendo coração bondoso. Poxa vida. Bora, 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 aqui ó. É equipe braba, viu? É uma pena mesmo que eu tenho muita preguiça de fazer eles chegarem no nível 90. É preguiça, pô, é preguiça.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
You could say that, in a sense. You'll see why shortly.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining crew would be capable of this. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tataris.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Quem é Nagamasa?
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarisuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarisuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa.
Eu espero muito que Natlan dê uma surra na cara desse Dotary, cara. Como que esse Caramote virou mensageiro? O Dotary levou ele junto com ele?
But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarisuna.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Tá bom, então bora lá. Estamos. Uma daquelas áreas bem complexas de nada.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Ei, eu quero pegar o baú. Como é que chega ali? Ah. É meio fora de contexto o fato que eu consigo pegar baús num negócio criado pela Narida, velho. Acho que não precisa de contexto, né? Achei. Sacrifício a ser feito. Eu preciso farmar para o caso. E toda essa farm que assim vai ser em vão, provavelmente. Nem senta se cena. Nem senta deixando as entrelas só pra você conseguir. O que é isso aqui?
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty, but there's nobody here.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. And then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started...
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into the name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
Morreu, boy.
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too.
Ah, então a terceira traição era Shogun. Ah, verdade.
The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
A partir daquela parte ali ele ficou assim, né?
Let's keep going.